Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. This is your pre-market briefing for Monday, February 23rd, 2026. The final full week of February begins with the $1 trillion market caps in focus, Fed commentary before the bell, and live breaking news setting the tone into the open. Today is about structure, levels, and reactions. I track the headlines, the data, and the market levels so you don't have to. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Let's get into the mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, let's get into the macro news. So at 5 o'clock, we had FOMC member Waller speaking. And ever since he spoke, we've had an uptrend in the SPX, y'all. All right. We did have one earnings of a notable company pre-market, and that is Domino's Pizza, y'all. So yesterday, Domino's closed at $384.64. They had earnings. They small miss on earnings, but they beat on revenue by 1%. And as you can see, it's 407 in the pre-market, y'all. So they had a nice bounce, even though they missed. All right, let's get into the daily law from Robert Greene. Find the deepest pleasure in absorbing knowledge and information. Feel like you never had enough. Like you never have enough. All right, how does this apply to long-term investing? Over time, discipline develops instinct. Napoleon, for example. Napoleon's advantage wasn't emotion, it was preparation. He read relentlessly, studied patterns, built experience faster than his peers. In investing, deep repetition builds clarity. Study earning cycles, set the rotation, liquidity shifts, and macro regimes. Over time, that discipline develops instinct. Your version of the coupe de ville, of the coupe d'oeil, the ability to quickly recognize opportunity. When it comes to trading, absorb charts daily, review wins and losses, study reaction to macro catalysts. The more structured your preparation, the faster your execution becomes. Precision comes from repetition. Information is edge. All right. Let's get into the market caps of our $1 trillion tickers. Wow. Y'all seen that that ad coming from companiesmarketcap.com. Shout out to that ad, man. They must know how old I am. All right, next, NVIDIA. Market cap, 4.6 trillion. 4.62 trillion, matter of fact. Followed by Apple, 3.88 trillion. And then Google, 3.8 trillion. Microsoft, 2.95 trillion. Amazon, 2.25 trillion. TSM 1.92 trillion, Meta 1.65 trillion, AVGO 1.57 trillion, Tesla 1.54 trillion, Berkshire B 1.07 trillion. All right, let's check out our pre-market levels. Nvidia in the pre-market is at 191.44. Google looking strong in the pre-market at 319. Apple in the pre-market is 263.39. Microsoft is falling in the pre-market is at 394.86. Amazon is at 208. TSM is at 366.80. AVGO looking strong in the pre-market at 332.43. Meta is at 652.50 in the pre-market. Tesla is at 407.16. And Berkshire B is at 497.50. All right, I will be reading some news. This thing to reset. This is supposed to be the 8 ticker layout. Let me go ahead and fix it before market open. It's supposed to be the 8 most valuable companies in the world, starting top left hand corner. Nvidia to the right, Google, Apple, Microsoft, and then underneath Nvidia is Amazon, TSM, AVGO, and Meta Platforms. So I do have Nvidia in this consolidation zone. That's why you can see this bluish part here, but let's get into it, y'all. Market open. The market is open. February 23rd, 2026, 6:30 in the morning, Bay Area time slot. All right, let's see what we got, folks. Nvidia is up 1.5% at 193. Google is up 1% at 318.44. Apple is up 0.25% at 265.29. Microsoft is dropping 1.5% at 392. Amazon is down 1% at 208. TSM has broken our alert. We had an alert at 368.50. Shout out to Dub. All right, next we have AVGO. It's up 0.25% at 333.60. Meta barely under break even at 654.88. Tesla is down 1.5% at 405.25. And Berkshire B is up 0.25% at 499.14, y'all. All right, let's check out some news. See what we got. All right, so our first piece of news comes from Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI. He was on stage. Let's check it out. It's about a minute.
You can totally imagine a world where AI massively concentrates power, where, say, a single company or country is able to hold on to AI and use that to amass a gigantic amount of power and wealth in the world. You can imagine another extreme where everybody on Earth has a super intelligence with no rules whatsoever, and some pretty terrible things and chaos happen. You can imagine many worlds there in the middle. I personally think something way more towards the democratized version of that is good. We of course will need some regulation. We of course will need some guardrails, But I think putting this technology in the hands of lots of people is possible, and that will be a decentralization of economic power. The clearest example of this you can see is in the last 6 and especially 3 months, the power that a 1 or 2 or 3 person company can have. This just didn't happen a few years ago. It was impossible. In this new world of things like codecs and general purpose knowledge working agents, we're going to have to get used very quickly to 1-person startups that have enormous amounts of success, or 2-person, 3-person startups. And I think this is great.
Yeah. 1, 2, or 3-person startups, y'all. All we got to do is start a company and use AI agents as our workforce, and we can make money. We definitely have to capitalize on this AI technology, y'all. We definitely have to. All right, next. This next is coming from before we go to that, we also had an alert here at 6:07:50. Shout out Dub for that alert too. It did run up. Did catch a quick 50-cent move on that. And then let's see. Caught a 50-cent move in 2 minutes. And then let's check TSM. TSM, this was the entry. Oh, that was a nice move. Nice call by Dub. That was a $1.35 move instantly. Shout out Dub on that. All right, next we had Trump talking mess about the Supreme Court. This is from a few days ago. When Trump was talking mess about how the Supreme Court overturned his tariffs. Check it out.
When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long. That I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. You can't knock their loyalty. One thing you can do, some of our people.
Good morning, Cuzzo. Let's get to this paper. All right, next we have Elizabeth Warren has said no Supreme Court decision can undo the massive damage that Trump's chaotic tariffs have caused. The American people paid for these tariffs, and the American people should get their money back. Give us our money back. I agree with Elizabeth Warren. Give us our money back. You said it's low volume right now? What are you looking to trade today, cuz? Shoot. Well, Trump volume was low. Yeah, he was just talking mess that they overturned his his tariffs. So, you know, he gonna be mad about that. But yeah, it wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't nothing too crazy. All right, here is our Black History for today. Palantir, let's put Palantir on the chart. Palantir is falling. Damn! Palantir down almost 5%. Ooh. So I do got my diagonal trend line here at 127.05. Man, why is this selling off like this? Yeah, it's not looking good. Oh, it did close this gap right here. So we can take that off. Yeah. Yeah, it's looking. It has to stay above this 126.23. If not, this lower low will be broken and we will be creating another lower low. Probably here at 119.90. But yeah, damn. I still like Palantir as a long-term buy and hold though. Definitely a good discount right now to get some shares. Let's see what kind of discount we on right now. Ooh, 38% off. 38% off. If my money wasn't tied up in this dividend play, I'll be buying some more Palantir right now. Yeah, software is still getting smacked, bro. Software is still getting smacked. All right, let's see. All right, this is our Black History for today. In the 16th century, the Songhai Empire had a minister of etiquette and protocol and a royal astronomer. They operated with a level of organization many people still don't associate with pre-colonial Africa. The Songhai Empire of West Africa maintained a structured imperial administration with specialized offices. Among them was a position often translated as a minister for etiquette and protocol, responsible for managing court ceremony, diplomatic conduct, and formal interactions between the emperor, officials, envoys, and visiting merchants. Such roles reflected how organized and ceremonial the imperial court had become, comparable to bureaucratic offices in contemporary empires elsewhere in the world. Further east, the medieval Kanem Bornu kingdom around Lake Chad, the court included a position described in some historical records as an astronomer royal. This office was linked to calendar keeping, religious observance, navigation, and the interpretation of celestial events, showing that astronomy was an important part of governance, scholarship, and Islamic learning in Central Africa. These roles remind us that African civilizations were not only centers of trade and military power, but also places of structured governance, scholarship, and scientific knowledge. Courts required diplomats, administrators, scholars, and specialists, just like those in Europe, the Middle East, or Asia during the same period. And you can see these brothers on the horses right here on YouTube. All right, next. Yeah, that is crazy, bro. That is crazy. All right. I want to shout out this sister here. She created Atlanta's largest black-owned swim school. Let's get into it.
Look at mommy. Good job. Kick. Welcome to Swim School. We are the largest Black-owned swim school here in Metro Atlanta. And I do say that with great pride. Trish Miller isn't an expert swimmer who wanted to start an aquatic school for kids and adults. This place is the result of trauma. Really in response to my own drowning experience in the water. So my background is in public health. So I knew intimately how the statistics affect certain demographics. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, drowning is the #1 cause of death in the United States for children ages 1 to 4. Nearly 70% of Black children do not know how to swim. Black children between the ages of 10 and 14 drown at rates more than 7 times higher than white children. And so that's why we do the work that we do, focusing on those demographics that have high rates of drowning. SWIM, SWEM, is Afrikaans. We were very intentional on paying homage to really the continent where we all came from, and where unfortunately many of the attitudes, opinions, and feelings that we have around the water originated. Swim School's curriculum focuses on building connection between community and water.
Shout out to that sister for building that swim school, because you know it was always that big Black people don't know how to swim, yada yada yada. Shout out to her for changing that up. I'm actually a great swimmer, personally. So I remember we used to race in the water. I was probably the fastest swimmer in the BVs. Shout out to me, y'all. Let's go. Next. Oh, this is so dope. So in China, if you on YouTube right now, you can see this video of this restaurant in China. They have these magnetic levitation AI powered delivery pods that bring you your food in the restaurant. It's so clean. It's so clean, yo. China is so ahead of us as far as technology, man. All right, next. Amazon has around 100 million robots deployed across a network of warehouses. Each robot packer at a warehouse can replace 24 workers. 24 workers, y'all. Man. Amazon on discount, too. Oh, it's at $205 right now. But Amazon, yeah, it's still on discount. It really has been struggling this whole year. But just imagine how many robots they're going to have next year. In the future, how many robots they're going to have. Yeah, Amazon's definitely a long-term buy and hold. Buy it on discount. Let's see where it's at right now. AMZN. Oh yeah, that double gap down. Ooh, where's the all-time high? 258? Yeah, 258. Oh yeah, let's see. Put my magnet back on. Amazon 20% off right now. So, you know, if you're thinking about buying a company and holding it for the long term, the next 5 to 10 years or more, definitely 20% off is a great entry. You definitely scale in at that position. All right, next. This is from Andrew Yang on Twitter. Remember him? He was running for president probably a couple terms ago. He was the one that was talking about what is it called? Universal basic income. The Asian guy. And I'm definitely all for universal basic income, because that's going to help out a lot of people. He said, let's take a moment to appreciate who's not in the Epstein files. Hey. Shout out to everybody that's not in the Epstein files, y'all. Shout out to everybody that got a lot of money that's not in the Epstein files. because you gotta have a certain amount of bread to be able to be eligible. But shout out for everybody that turned down the invitation to go to Epstein Island, y'all. All right, this next piece of motivation comes from Wallow267. He said having a low overhead is a major flex. That means when your monthly bills are low, that is a flex. Because you can put the rest of that money to work. You can put it into the market. You can start a business with it. You know what I mean? You can do some good things with it. Keep your bills low. Keep your income coming in. All right, let's check out the Fear and Greed Index. Let's see where we at today, Monday, February 23rd. We are at 42. We are headed back toward neutral, but we are still in fear, y'all. All right, let me run these numbers. For today. SPX. Wow, this thing was running up at the open, and now it has since reversed, and it lost all them gains, and now it's negative. Wow, look at that, y'all. So that just shows right there, just because this thing opened up strong, that don't mean it won't get clapped and pulled back. All right, so we got SPX down over 0.25% at 6,889. SPYG is down to 687.12. The NAS 100 is down almost 0.75% at 24,825. QQQ is down to 604.37. The Dow Jones, shout out Pam Bondi. The Dow Jones is at 49,324. The Dow Jones ETF is down over 0.5% at 493. The VIX done spiked up. That's what happened. The VIX gapped down and then it spiked up. 10 minutes later, it spiked up. So the VIX is up almost 6% at 2021. The 10-year Treasury note is at 406. Gold is running, y'all. Gold is running. Gold is up to $5,196 per ounce. The gold mini shares trust is up almost 2% at 102.86. Silver is up over 3% at 79.13. The copper miners ETF is running today. It's up almost 2% at 90.80. AMD is down 0.5% at 199.20. Bitcoin is at 65,000. Oh, 66,000 now. It's moving up. But look at the chart, y'all. Where did Bitcoin bounce? Exactly at my weekly level. To the penny. Shout out to me, y'all. I've been had this weekly level on here. 65,505. And when Bitcoin dropped, it pulled down exactly and bounced right there, y'all. Shout out to that technical analysis skill set right there, y'all. Next, IBIT down 2.5% at 37.46. Ethereum is still under 2,000. It's at 1,912 right now. BMNR is still under 20. BMNR is down 2.5% at 1962. Palantir, looks like Palantir bounced about 39 cents above my diagonal trend line and is since headed to the upside over $2. So another good technical analysis. It wasn't to the penny like Bitcoin, but a nice bounce. Very close to my level, 39 cents away. And Robinhood getting clapped again. Robinhood down over 4% at 73.05. I still like Robinhood for a long-term buy and hold. It is the most innovative financial tech company out there. And I think it's definitely going to be good in the future. 5 to 10 year old, Robinhood for sure. Ooh, that thing down over 50%. That's a hell of a discount, y'all. I'm not saying it can't go lower, but I do like it for the future, for sure. All right, let me run these $1 trillion ticker numbers. Okay, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA looking strong. It's up almost 2% at 193.36. Google is up 0.5% at 316.51. Apple is at break even at 264.51. Microsoft is down over 2%. Microsoft getting clapped, y'all. Software is just struggling. All right, Microsoft down over 2% at 388.80. Microsoft is good for a leap right now, y'all. For sure. Amazon is down almost 2% at 206. TSM, oh, shout out to Dub for that call. TSM is running. You still in the trade, Dub? I know you made some good bread on that if you still in that thing. That thing is up. Boy, 372 right now. All right, next, AVGO. AVGO is up over 1% at 336.51. Meta is down almost 1% at 649.51. Tesla is down over 2.25% at 402. And Berkshire B is up 0.25%. Look at that reversal. Y'all, major reversal. That looks like the same candle pattern as SPX. How it popped right here, and then it had this spinning top and then reversed down. It looks exactly the same. All right, let's check out the ETFs right quick. We like to check out on this show. IWM, that's the Russell 2000, is down almost 1% at 262.36. SPYM is down over 0.25% at 80.82. QQQM is down over 0.5% at 249.09. SPYG is down almost 0.5% at 104.47. SOXQ is up fractionally at 65.12. TQQQ is down almost 2% at 49.14. SOXL is up fractionally at 67.22. SOXX is barely over break even at 359.47. XLG is over 5% off right now. It just came down a little something. It's over 0.25% off at 57.48. The IBIT 30 is down almost 2% at 29.84. It's over 15% off right now. SPYI high income ETF is down over 0.25% at 52.06. And QQQI is down over 0.5% at 52.20. Let's check out the sectors, y'all. What sectors are green today? Let's see. Not tech. Tech is down almost 0.75% at 139.96. Consumer discretionary is down almost 2% at 115.25. XLC is down almost 0.5% at 116.32. XLF is getting destroyed. Is down over 1.5% at 51.68. XLV is up almost 1%. That's healthcare at 158.18. XLP, consumer staples, is up almost 0.5% at 88.31. XLE, looks like XLE hit an all-time high today, y'all. At 55.50. Let me make sure. I think I called an all-time high wrong last week because I didn't zoom out. Let's see. Yup. I'm right today. All right, there we go. All-time high on XLE. XLU is up 1% at 79. Industrials hit an all-time high on Friday. But today is down almost 1% at 175.55. XLB is down over 0.25% at 52.77. XLRE is up 0.5% at 43.78. And this iPad started tripping with my music. All right, next, let's check out the heat map. Ooh, you see all that red in the finance sector? Ooh, you see all that red in technology services? Goodness gracious. Hold on. Let me refresh this thing. Wow. We got a lot of green in healthcare. Eli Lilly up 3.3%. ExxonMobil up 2%. McDonald's up 1.5%. Disney's down 1.5%. T-Mobile's up 1.6%. JP Morgan is down over 2%. MasterCard down 2.9%. Visa down 2%. Morgan Stanley down almost 2.5%. Goldman Sachs is down almost 2%. Wells Fargo down 1.69%. American Express is down almost 5%. Damn. All right. We got to end the show early today, y'all. Today my early day for work. All right. Appreciate y'all for tuning in today. We'll be back tomorrow in the pre-market. We are live every day here on YouTube and Facebook. All right.
It don't happen overnight, and there's.
Dang, I always be forgetting to refresh these Instagram things. So jank, y'all.
One should speak these 5 affirmations. All right. I am the best. I can do it alone. God is always with me. I am a winner. Today is my day. Every morning, everyone should speak these 5 affirmations. All right. I am the best. I can do it alone. God is always with me. I am a winner. Today is my day.
Yes, sir.
It ain't all good, but it ain't all bad either. So be thankful. Be happy. Smile. Gonna be productive today.
We will be productive today.
Be happy. Y'all gonna be productive today. So
Oh, my bad. Cut that too soon.
It don't happen overnight, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really frustrating, and there's gonna be moments when it's really, really inspiring and empowering. And if you get too high off the highs and too low off the lows, you're going to take yourself on a ride that's very uncomfortable. I think it's just about being committed to the work and appreciating it, when it's good and not stressing too bad when it's bad, just appreciating the work and staying focused on showing up every day.
That's it, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody YouTube Live and Facebook Live. We'll be back tomorrow in the pre-market. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.